All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:32. It is Thursday. It is June 5th. I hope everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com, founder of Red Dog Mindset. I like saying it, that Red Dog Mindset. Anyway, hope everyone's feeling well. It's been a week. We did start the week on our, just say, not even our back foot, but, we came in pretty tactical. And then Monday, Tuesday, we had two down opens and the market absorbed it really well. A lot of stocks on the move, a lot of things to do. And, we kind of pushed above the range or trying to, and we're showing some commitment to it. Not everything is created equal. You got to find the setups. You got to move those feet. You got to use your tier system. You have to use your day count rule. You have to, find the patterns that are working. If you look right here at the chart, this is what we came into the week to. If you remember on the SPYs, came in pretty tactical, and all of a sudden, kind of held where we had to around 583-ish, and we've worked our way up towards the high of 598. Right now, we're above this recent range, and we're below the highs of the year. The question is, will we have enough power, to stay and continue towards 611, 613-ish. So there is a void here if it wants it. Yesterday, we had a pretty weak ADP. Definitely had a lot of macro news happening in the past 3 months. So I could see why companies might, chill out a little bit, not knowing what the hell is going to go on with the tariffs. So that's why the numbers are getting weaker. But if numbers get weaker, it's not the worst thing. I don't think we're going into a recession, but that means maybe pressure's off yields. Yields were a problem. So if pressure comes off yields, we have like a Goldilocks-ish type of environment, stocks have been doing well and can continue, I guess. Look at this big cup and handle. If this is a cup and handle in the NASDAQ and we're starting to go, that could be interesting. A lot of different type of names are working. You just got to move those feet. Q's hit 529.84. If you remember earlier in the week, I bought a bunch of IWM calls. Hasn't had a huge move, but it's working. Hit a high of 210. I'd like to see it get above that 210. If it does in a really strong close, maybe we see 214. Tomorrow's a jobs report. Probably will be a little light as long as it's not a disaster where then all the TVs start talking about recession, which we're probably not going to be in. Then maybe, the IWM gets another push. I will say what's a big surprise today, my biggest P&L winner, and I haven't played this in in months, silver. Look at this silver. A lot of my friends who accumulate metals are like, Red Dog, you got to get in silver. You got to get in silver. I'm like, you know what? Look at this big gap up. Started accumulating silver the past 2 days, SLV. And now, you have the SLV, breaking out here. I think the other day I showed you guys the chart of the AGQ, which is a leveraged silver, going over, a big channel here. Funny thing is my brother has been buying physical gold and silver for like 5 years. And he's like, I'm going to start selling my silver. I'm like, I don't think you start selling your silver. He's like, it's overvalued. I'm like, well, what do you, I'm like, if you look at the chart of silver, I'm just saying it's been accumulated, for a long time here. So chances are, gold had a huge move. Like, why are you selling your silver now? I'm like, there are a lot of smart guys out there. I'm like, remember back 4 or 5 years ago when the Hunt brothers cornered the market and had a big move? Well, anyway, this silver is interesting. This is like the last time I played it up until, 2 days ago. So anyway, that's the beauty of trading. And sometimes this business is that, you could revisit things and patterns of pattern. You have a big gap up as if this was like a company with earnings, digested sideways, and now it's continuing. So anyway, silver looks pretty good. As far as mega cap tech, I said this earlier in the week, and I'm going to say it again, and it didn't work earlier in the week. To me, this Amazon looks really set up. It's very, very, very tight. I put it on as a power play. I have stock. I have options. I'd love to see this get above 209-ish with some power. And if it does, there's a void here to 215. So I think Amazon looks really good. There's some news about humanoids and this and that. So, maybe there's a good setup here. This is why you tune into the 630 Club for some setups. The alpha team's already involved, and so am I. And we'll see if you can add to something. I told you earlier in the week, Meta proved you could add to something, and look at Meta on its way. Meta had a big move through 654 through 662, went sideways and pushed. What a nice move in Meta. I'll I'll tell you quite honestly, I didn't make money in it. But again, as the chief strategic officer of T3 Live and the Alpha team, and out there, I put this pattern out there, and I put 40 charts together, and I might not be in 40 things, I might be in 10. And Meta was something I'm not in. I missed it. But a lot of guys made a lot of good money there. But this is giving me some clues that I might be able to get really big in Amazon. Wouldn't that be nice? But anyway, that's that. What I've been avoiding is Tesla. Tesla's been a disaster. I made a lot of money in Tesla when it cleared 295. So did a lot of you guys here in the 630 club. But all of a sudden, sold it into 367. Then you had, break below 356, and then it kind of retested it and was sold with a topping tail. I haven't traded Tesla in 4 or 5 days just because it's not giving any reason to. And then this morning, what's Tesla doing? I think it's down a bunch, right? Yeah, it's down another 5 at 326. This low here yesterday was what? I think 327. So I guess this morning maybe it's worth a look, but the futures are up. It's showing relative weakness. I don't know. Just be careful. There are times when Tesla's good, it's great, and that's here. Then when it's bad, it's horrible. I don't know what's going on. Like Elon and Trump are fighting. He's thinking the work that he did with Doge was for nothing. And now, I don't know, just it's a battleground. Sometimes when there's a battleground, you want to step on the side of the battle. So with that being said, just be careful. If you're short, maybe this is a spot to cover, I guess. And the semiconductors have been really good. You just got to be careful. I think Avago's coming out after the close today. It's already borrowed from the move. If you were playing Avago here, you got your earnings move. You don't need to be in it for earnings. You can get like a CrowdStrike where it's solid, but it had such a big move that you'll make nothing in your options. So all in all, Avago is really good. And I've been focusing on Nvidia this week. Nvidia to me looks like, the fast money came out of it. We made some decent money in the call spread, and now it seems like, in the next day or so, if it can get above 143.50, there is some room if this market wants to continue. So, I'm in some calls, I'm in some stock. I think it's looking pretty good. This core weave is insane. A lot of people caught in a short squeeze. Remember SMCI 2 years ago when it went to 300-400? I hate pain trades because I hate to see people in pain. I freaking love traders out there, but sometimes traders get a little opinionated. They get a little stubborn and they get caught. Sometimes a pain trade also means is like if you bought it here when we listed it at 47 and 64 and you sold it into 100 and you missed this part of it, like, oh my God, I could have made so much money. So in your head, you're exhibiting pain. That's a different kind of pain versus being short on this red dog reversal and not covering, or short on this red dog reversal and not seeing it hold the 8-day. Anyway, I think it's down a little bit this morning, so you'll see what's next. CRWV, it's down 5. So, maybe that's probably bringing down the video a little bit, maybe with it. It's down 22 cents. All right, we'll see. All in all, though, it's 6:40. It's June 5th. It's been a good week. I think a lot of traders are making some money. It's nice when things are systematic, when you could, be in multiple different types of trades and massage your tier system. What else am I looking at? I'm in a little bit of this AI. AI looks like maybe it's, coming back up. We had a good option play there. Bought it back versus 24.71. It's not an A play. It's just something that I'm in a massaging. What else is looking decent? I'm in BABA. First time I'm in BABA in a while. I've already trimmed some, basically from 133 down. China was a little strong. It poked its head above this descending channel. Maybe it can go, but I'm not really that committed there. So I'm just trying to, stack wins, stack days, make money, be responsible, live life. I want to thank everyone for their well wishes for my mom. She's been battling cancer for 5 years, so it's coming to that point. So I don't know if there'll be 6:30 clubs next week. I'm heading to Florida Saturday morning with Chase and my wife, and we'll see if I have to stay there for a week or so. But all I will say is just appreciate what you have. If you haven't spoken to your mom or dad in a while, you better do it. If you're fighting with family members, make sure you make up before you can't. I'm not saying I have. I'm saying in general, I've seen people go to sleep mad, and then one of them doesn't wake up the next day and they're kind of upset that they never got things off their chest. Before I go, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Jeff Bezos also has a stake in NBIS. Feels like SMCI for, let's see. A JV saying NBIS. Looks good. Nice looking chart. You know, had a big move, rebuilt. So NBIS is one of those names. WRBY. Warby Parker. I got my glasses there. It's not that sexy, but WRBY, let's see. Yeah. ASTS was really good yesterday. Really nice candle. You know, I've been in this for a while. Finally, it had a nice candle. It's down a little bit. I'll probably be buying more on the dip here. It's down, you know, it's only down 50 cents. It's not a big deal. And that's that. All right, guys, I got to jump. I'm sorry. A lot of things are moving around here.